you want to know what it is. The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window, or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth.
Alright, who can let me know if they can see or hear? I'd appreciate it.
That you are a slave.
What you can see, what you can hear.
Like everyone else, you were born into bondage. Born into a prison that you cannot smell, taste, or touch. A prison for your mind. Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Do not try and bend the spoon. That's impossible. Instead, only try to realize the truth.
What truth?
There is no spoon.
There is no spoon?
Then you'll see that it is not the spoon that bends. It is only yourself.
Waiting for it to fill up here.
The Oracle will see you now.
Sure it was real. What if you were unable to wake from that dream? How would you know the difference between the dream and the real you? This can't be what? Be real?
It's going into replication.
Hey, Bob. Still nothing. Let's go. Tank, we're going to need a signal soon.
Relation.
ACOG, location.
Okay, almost there.
Lock, I got it. Now, Tank, now.
Alright, so what's up, fellas? I finally figured out how to get an old computer hooked up to a TV, which will allow me to run Streamlabs, and we should be good. So I'm looking here, even though it's a smashed computer, it shows up on the TV behind it. You guys want to see set up like that, you know? That's kind of... You know, my computer basically projects onto the TV. Let me do what I used to do. Thanks for bearing with me through doing all those types of videos like that. Now, I'm gonna put the phone number out. Basically, there's a few things I want to talk about, but you know what? I bet you they'll come up during the phone calls. So, the red pill is back, baby. All right, we no matter how much they try to pull me down. For $4 for one wire. Alright, looks like we're back on good. So I'm gonna put the phone number in. I just any problems, I'm just setting this up. You can't hear me. You can't hear me? Oh, you can hear me. You should be able to hear me. Alright, maybe you didn't hear me because I wasn't talking before. Because I can hear. Yeah, you can hear me. So you just couldn't hear me before because I wasn't talking.
You felt it your entire life.
Alright, so the phone number is in the chat, is in the any of the anybody. I don't see any mods here, but you guys should see a new mod, Matt. Let me see. Let me see. Alright, so I'm gonna post the phone number. Basically, I just want to get off to a call-in show. We haven't had a call-in show in so long. I'd love to have one. So, I just want to call-in show and see what comes through.
Now in this very room.
Alright, so here we go.
Look out your window, or when you turn on.
Alright, so I'm gonna put the phone number in.
You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes.
Yeah, that's me talking. Alright. So, anyways, if you guys saw the last video, I kind of, a couple people caught it, but they actually said it through email and phone call. But as far as like the comments and the live chat, you know, like I kind of put some information kind of subtly into that video because it's I mean, obviously the nature of it is such. It's very sensitive, and hopefully you guys can read between the lines in that video. You know, I did put forth a theory, which I do believe, but there's something that I think has more of a factual basis behind it, and that's kind of, if you read between the lines.
This is your last chance.
I think you guys
After this,
get it.
there's no turning.
A few people did get it. They were sending me emails and stuff. They didn't put in the comments though. But
You wake up in your bed.
anyways, I'm looking for.
You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland, and I show you how. To
Yep. Thank you, Matthew. Putting the number out there. I just put the number out there. Okay. So I'm just looking for you guys. I haven't had a call-in show in a while, so I figured now's the perfect time to have a call-in show. Let me get rid of
This is your last chance.
some of this
After this,
background
there's
stuff
no-
here. Okay. Alright, now it's just me and you. If nobody wants to call just yet, I'm gonna look at chat. Anything interesting going on? Let me show up this flashlight so it's not shining in your eyes there. Oh. Alright. Just curious as to what you guys got. It sounds like he's on the other side of it. Does it? I sound like I'm far away? Well, I am kind of far away. Right now it's difficult audio because my sample device. Yeah, it sounded like I was pretty far away. That's because I was talking low. But you should be able to hear me just fine. If not, I can fix that. Yeah. So it should be fine as long as I speak up. Or I could just get closer to the device. That's all. So basically, I'm just looking for any call. No number? I put in a number. I haven't done a call-in show in probably 3 weeks now. I hadn't done one for like a week, and then they messed up my BIOS chip. So, you know, it's been a while since I had a call-in show. I've been kind of looking forward to getting some fresh ideas, and you know, there's eyes all over the country. You know, there's only so much one person can do. It's like in my Fugel show. Last night's my Fugel show was one of his best shows in a long time. A lot of great information in that show. Great callers. You know, so it seems like there's a lot going on around this country, and I want to, you know, just kind of see, you know, what I get. So let's see. And you guys got notifications? Why don't we start off? Where is everyone located? You know, you can give a rough idea, whatever makes you feel comfortable. Where's everybody located? I'll start off. Alright, so we got our first caller. I'm going to be looking, I'll be shouting out where you guys are from. I don't have to exactly say, oh, this person's from here. I'll just shout out locations. But let's take our first caller.
Hey, Red Pill.
Hello, this is the Red Pill at the Red Pill News Dispensary, and you are my first caller, and we used to do this every night. Haven't done one in 3 weeks, so you were the first caller.
Haven't done one in long.
Yes. I think you sound very familiar. I think I know who it is, but do you want to share with everyone who this is?
It's Whitetail 7. I'm in PA.
Oh, I thought it was actually somebody else. Wow. Okay, Whitetail 7. You don't have two different screen names, right? Or you don't have to tell me.
Nope, just one.
Oh, you sound just like somebody else from PA. I know. I mean, I guess it's the accent. But what do you got?
I'm just wanting everybody to get their houses in order and put their knees on the ground and pray to the Lord, and because time's short. That's it.
You know what? I mean, for as short as you put that could fill a program, how important that is. No matter where you look, people are talking about how we are running low on time. Now, a lot of people are rejoicing in that fact because you know if you're saved. For other people, be aware of signs. You know, you might be just on that cusp, and you know, just a little bit more understanding, and a couple more. What's the word I'm looking for? Confirmations, and you know.
It's a matter of waking people up and making them see.
Exactly.
You've got to see it. You've got to see it.
And-
I've known this my whole life. I did not belong here. I told God when I came here this last time, I am done. I'm done. I'm going home. I'm done. I'm doing this last time, and I'm done. So
Yeah.
it's waking everybody else up. I think
Now, have
that's
you been
why-
getting like signs in your daily life? Because one thing
absolutely.
I get labeled as cuckoo, and then all of a sudden I start watching. I mean, we're talking channels with like 500,000 subscribers, and they're talking about, hey, have you been noticing? And there's 3 numbers, and they're able to name them in sequence exactly as I see them. Now, it's not like a clock that I see because I come home from work at a certain time. In
No,
fact,
it's-
I'm in work during those hours, so I rarely see a clock during this hour, the 3 numbers.
Oh.
And I just keep seeing that number. It's actually a 444, and at 444, I'm deep in my workday because that's the commute home. So that's when I'm busiest. So it's not like I'm seeing it on clocks. I'm seeing it everywhere, and it's got to the point where it's undeniable. And I'm starting to learn what that means. It means you're being like called upon. To sum it up, basically. And it makes sense for me. That's my one of the things that really have kind of opened my eyes, and got my ear to the grindstone, and kind of just trying to see. Go ahead.
Here's what God says. There are no coincidences. God says those are my ways of showing you
Yes.
I am always here.
Yes. And they came at very difficult times in my life.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And things have been
when you just want to
more
give it
difficult
all
than
up,
ever. And,
Yeah.
and I feel these things, and I see these things, and I'm a lot more at peace with it. Even though things are 10 times worse off as far as possessional things. My car's wrecked. There's a question as to will it even get insured. All these possessional things, yet
they don't matter.
I almost have less stock in it, and that's not a subconscious thing because it's already. No, I mean I'll still probably be able to figure out a way to, get the money for it, but it just doesn't matter so much. The possessions, the worldly possessions.
If it's something that you need, God will provide. Period.
It's very true. And sometimes something that happens in our lives, whether it's what we feel might be, kind of towards the end days right now or 10 years ago, sometimes something that you think you need in your life will be taken away from you. And it actually, when you look back on those times, those are the times that made you spiritually stronger. They made you just stronger, period, as a person. Just being able to take on, difficult situations. And overall, you look back and you know what? I'm glad I went through that thing. Let's say it was 10 years ago. And a lot of the things I'm talking about in 10 years, I know I'll look back. Now 10 years, I'm not sure what the situation will be. But let's say we're all still here in 10 years. I would look back on those times and say, hey, I'm happy that happened because that taught me A, B, C, D.
Yep. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yes. I always used to kind of poke fun at that, like, what didn't kill you makes. But it's very true. It's very true. It's so simple.
Oh, absolutely.
That is true.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've died at least 7 times. That's why it's Whitetail 7. Because my grandfather, on my Indian side, on my mother's side, named me Whitetail. And
I always wondered about that name because I see you on Moth, and I have a lot of Native American friends.
yeah, it's
And
my mom's
my
side.
Native American, now, they have a whole different, some of them are even like pagan. But
no,
they
we're
have been
Iroquois.
becoming.
We're Iroquois. We're from New York. Originally.
Yeah,
I mean, there's
well, I
no
mean, these
family
ones
up
aren't
there.
too far off. They're Great Lakes. They're originally from like Canada, the Chippewa.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah. So, it's not too
Right.
far off, but this is a very good friend of mine. I've always liked him because he's spiritual like that. But he has been coming to see hey, there's things going on, you know, and I found Jesus. I said, what? You found Jesus? You got paganism all over your body. You know, all these symbols that, you know, don't mean anything nice to Christianity, I'll tell you that.
We didn't grow up with that. We didn't grow up with that at all. There was no churches.
I mean, he's an individual. I'm not saying all Chippewa.
I'm not saying
he's an individual.
Wrong, you know.
But the point is, he's come to Jesus here in these last month.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh, Whitetail. So yeah, how you doing? I see you always on my Fugle, and how you doing?
Hey.
And so I thought my Fugle had one of his best shows last night.
Not last night, Friday night, or Saturday night. Yeah, Saturday night.
Yeah, last night.
Well, yeah, to us, yeah.
Well, yeah, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, it was Saturday night.
If you're West Coast last night, I'm East Coast.
Yeah, I'm on there too.
But yeah, his last show, put it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, his next show hasn't started, or else you'd be over there as a month.
But I keep wanting to get him the hell out of there, and he can't because he's got all his family up there in Washington.
Well, it's very tough to move. It's easy to talk about leaving, but there's been so many situations where we thought, alright, bug out time. And it wasn't bug out time. But I think we're getting closer to that day. You know, and people can call me like a Bible thumper, all that. I don't care. Because I really don't. I mean, anybody who's a regular to this channel knows I do not care what people think. I will say what I feel.
And I'm not trying to be a Bible thumper at all. Not to want to know, you know.
But when you have a messaging in your own life in the most odd way that is tailor-made to your life,
when it shows up,
you cannot deny it.
And you know it's the Lord.
Yeah, you cannot deny it.
Disagree.
There's some kind of calling. In my case, everyone probably has different. In my case, it's some kind of calling. I don't know. I have this channel. You know, I'm sure I reach some people. Many? No, I don't reach many. But
no, and I have my channel, and I don't have any. Well, I don't even know how many subs I have, to be quite honest.
Well, yeah, but even but then I look at it and I'm like, you know what though? In my own personal life, at the time they mock me, and then all of a sudden 2 weeks later, whether it's a cousin, a brother, a friend, you know, a stepmother, they come back to me and they're like, you know, I really looked into what you were talking about, and you know, it really resonated with me, even though they were mocking me as I'm saying it. But it just shows you, just because someone's mocking you does not mean they're not listening.
Oh, I know, but being, like, I'm a mod for several different channels, and
I wasn't aware.
I get hate all the time, and I really don't care.
Well, with my Fugle, he gets a lot of hate his way.
Oh, yeah. I don't care, though, because, you know what, I have been through so much in my life. Like I said, I died 7 times. That's why there's a 7 on the end.
Yeah, actually, it's funny. I've got like 1 legit, well, 2 like legit, like when I say died, I mean like odds were against me. I should not be here. And then I've kind of like died, but you know, I was brought back. But so a total like 5 for me. 2 very serious, but the odds were stacked against me. The other 3, the odds weren't stacked against me. I was dead, but with modern medicine and certain tools this is way back, you know, that's what, you know, so yeah, I know what you mean. I've died a lot of times. I'll tell you though, I never saw any white light. I never saw anything like that. I just don't think it was my time, you know. And besides, they say that when let's say me or you know, knock on wood, although who knows, that might be the best of things, let's say something happened to us right now, me and you, not some natural disaster. You drop dead, I drop dead, right? Now, let's say we're gone. Now, what would happen is, I think that we would actually wake up and have judgment according to the Bible, according to how I interpret it. When you really look at it, we will be judged and rise from the dead. It would be like a half second for us. Yet at the same time, we would rise from the dead from the same people from 200 years ago, 1,000 years ago, all at once, and receive judgment. That will be Judgment Day. And for everybody, it's like a boom, and then you're awake, and then, you know, you're being judged, and
Nope, then
that's
you're
my
not
interpretation.
saved. Then you're not saved because I already went through the tunnel. I already went through the light.
Well, I've witnessed stuff, but not when I was dead. Not when I
I was
died.
dead.
There's
It was
been like
gone.
it was kind of like a remote viewing type of moment where I know I'm saved. I know I'm saved. But when I died, there wasn't any tunnel. I didn't die. I didn't actually. I mean, I might have been like what a doctor would call dead for that short time, but obviously it wasn't my time. So for whatever reason, I didn't have any tunnel or white light. I didn't have that.
I only had that one.
I can only be honest. You know what I mean? I'd love to tell you I did, but I can only be honest. And that doesn't mean I'm not saved. I am saved. I know I'm saved.
Well,
The
no,
bottom
and
of my
I
heart,
didn't mean that
I'm
in
saved.
like a negative way that you weren't saved. I'm just saying it because, like I said, I've died 7 times, but I only seen it and I went through the tunnel one time.
So 1 of the 7.
One of the 7.
Yeah.
And
So I've had 0 of the 5, 0, and then 0 of the 2 ones that were, odds stacked against me should have died. No, I never had that experience.
And I begged and I said, please do not let me go back. I do not. This was in a younger.
I want to hear about that one. So that one time. So you actually begged, like, don't let me go.
Oh yeah.
You wanted to stay.
Yeah, I wanted to stay. It was beautiful. You could not imagine the colors, the light.
That's actually, that's similar to. I've been looking a lot about. Well, this is kind of last week, but I was watching a lot of videos about people who had died and what they experienced. I was trying to see some type of similarities and differences. And colors is a big thing, as well as family. But when I read the Bible, I see it almost be made out like it'll be like that, and it'll go by just as fast as it does somebody who died 1,000 years ago as it does someone who dies today. And it'll be like that, and then it's Judgment Day. It's not like, you know what I mean? Like the whole premise of sitting around waiting, that's kind of not what the Bible portrays. At least that's how it made sense to me when it was shown to me.
No, I get you.
No, it's okay if we have a different opinion on that. I mean, that's semantics.
It's not so much different. It's just a different experience.
Yeah. See, my experience, I've had experiences conscious in this body, not in a situation where I'm dying, through dreams, through visions, through remote viewing, things like that. Like I have kind of like gone through, and it's almost like I was going through the solar system. It was very odd. And I've been spoken to in dreams as well, both from good and evil things. I'll never forget the one night when an evil Baphomet looking thing said like 3 words to me, and it scared the hell out of me. I was that night, of course, I was looking on the dark internet.
Oh no, I've seen demons also.
The dark web, yeah, it was very scary.
Oh yeah.
And it was real. It was just as real as another real, where my father touched me and told me it's gonna be okay, and hugged me. I could feel his embrace. Just as vivid as that was this negative experience I had.
Oh yeah, and they stay with you. I mean, that experience will stay with you until you pass, till we go with God, and that's where we're going. I mean, there are reasons that everybody experiences anything in their life.
I agree.
Negative, positive, whatever it is, and I didn't mean to start it that way. It should have been
I would agree with that.
Positive or negative, but...
Don't worry about it. Trust me, you know me. I have very thin skin. Thick skin.
I don't want to offend anybody, so...
No, I don't get offended. I meant to say I have very thick skin.
Correct and,
yeah.
I'm not trying to do any, wording that gets you strikes or anything like that, but...
Well, I don't worry about that. As long as you stay away from spelling out the FF. Other than
that
that,
ain't gonna happen.
I'm good. You can say
well,
whatever
you
country
know I'm
name.
a mod for Adam, so I'll never do any of that kind of thing.
No,
so
I understand. And that's fine. That's Adam's channel. He has the right. I'm just saying, like, I'm not as worried about that stuff. I always talk pretty freely on this channel. I've never gotten a strike. Well, I got one, but it wasn't even like a real strike. It was like a
I'm always the truth seeker. That's
name.
all I am.
Yes.
That's all I am. I know
Yes.
who God
I think
is,
a lot of
I know
us
where
are.
we're going, and that's what I believe in.
Yes.
So I just want to wake people up, get them woke, and that's it. That's my mission. That's my job. I'm trying to get my book published. I've been trying and trying.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What's your book about?
It's called Soul Survivors. That's my
Soul Survivor? Can you give us like the premise? As far as
premise of it?
like soul is spelled like your soul, S-O-U-L or S-O-L-E?
S-U-R-V-I-V-O-R-S is what the name of it is.
It's kind of like a play on words. Soul Survivor.
Soul Survivor.
Last survivor, yet soul, you have a soul. I don't know, I looked at it.
That's what my email is drp_SOUL_SURVIVOR@yahoo.com. I've been trying to figure out how to put some of my book info onto my page or my channel. I don't know how to do it. I need help.
Oh wait, what do you have? Alright, tell me the problem one more time. You're trying to...
I can scan and put stuff.
Okay.
I don't know. I need help.
No, talk to me. I might be able to help you. Oh. I just gotta plug this back in. Yeah, I've been doing it a little bit different than I normal. Okay, here we go. We're back. Alright, yeah, tell me. So what are you trying to figure out? I might be able to help you, because when I put my mind to something, I'm surprised what I can, I thought I mean, my computers are done, but I had this one busted laptop that somehow I was able to get the wire for $4, and here it is, working on my TV. So I'm at least able to like do a show without it just being, like the cell phone, just talking to the cell phone, where you can't really have special features But I'm sorry. So yeah, go ahead. What is it that you're trying to figure out? Maybe I can help.
I am trying to figure out how to download certain. Well, I need a publisher, is what I need. Actually.
Well, I mean, I might know one of those too. It basically just put your problem out there. I have a very intelligent audience. You'd be surprised. So I would put your problem out there.
My book it's basically a spiritual life. It is, anyone can read it and get the same experience of their own life from what I wrote.
Okay.
Do you get it? Do you understand?
I know what you mean. It's one of those like
because
one size fits all. A lot of people and people can get different experiences from the same idea.
Yeah, there are different interpretations because
we all have different lives, different upbringings.
I wrote stuff for a very long time.
I think that's a great idea, Whitetail. Keep going.
But it's not just my writings, it's my photos, because I'm a photographer also.
Oh, you are?
Oh, yes.
I'm actually just finished taking photography. I loved it. In school? Getting the acupuncture, not the acupuncture, the aperture right, and the distance, and I just took some classes in it, and I loved it. I loved it. A lot of work. I thought it would be an easy class. It was a very difficult class. I'm a
painter.
Nice.
I'm a writer. I'm a butcher. I've got
wow.
So many.
Did you say butcher?
Yeah,
my brother just started at a butchering job this week. That's funny you mentioned that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
And he's
let
the
him
last
learn.
person you would think. He's some, 24-year-old millennial, and he's a butcher.
Yep, I learned when
training.
I was 19 years old. That was a long
Oh
time
yeah.
ago.
Oh yeah. But I guess he's been pretty tough about it. I'm actually proud of him.
It's a good trade to know.
Yeah.
It will be a good trade to know.
It's a good trade to know now, because most people just don't want to do that work, and
No.
it will definitely be a good trade to know. God forbid, shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
You know?
SHFS, yeah.
Yeah, I'll just say it. Shit hits the fan. You can be loose with you can do whatever you want, but if you
No, I was
don't
being-
feel I'm not gonna censor you. You
not
can say
trying to
whatever you
censor.
want outside of FF. Spelling that out.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that it's just there's no need to say it. FF
Yeah.
is good enough. But yeah, so wow, that's great. So you talk about that.
Yeah, I just need somebody.
You're just looking for a publisher.
Yes, because I met with a publisher a few, I'm not going to say how long ago, but
Mm-hmm.
they wanted to take 80% of my book sales.
Well, you see, not only sometimes it's usually one or the other, usually both. They want a good percentage of your book sales just to publish it. When if you just have patience, you can find a publisher who will want much less to nil, or they want to kind of change a good amount of it, and
Yes,
it's
and
no
they want
longer
it-
yours, So
They
if I were you, I would
want-
stick to your guns. As far as them changing it, I wouldn't let anyone do that. That's your work. Don't let anyone change that. It'll kind of ruin it. In fact, I think people try to overmanage in situations like that, and it ends up hurting the experience for everybody else. But as far as them getting a percentage, 80%, way too much. But you know what? They're taking risk as well. A certain percentage might be, in my advice, something you might want to look into. But 80%, way too high.
No, because they wanted to give me $80,000 for my book and take 80% from all the sales.
Oh, they want to give you 80,000 up front before the 80%.
Yeah, but
Oh,
they
in that
also
case-
they also want me
Yeah.
to sign a 4-year contract that everything I wrote after that, or anything I published, anything I
Is
found,
theirs.
anything I drew, anything.
They own your ass after that.
Yep, they own
For 4 years.
And I said absolutely not.
You know what? Tell them, say, hey, I don't know how, maybe you could find someone who's a better negotiator, but you want it to be someone you trust, but yeah, that deal was no bueno. It sounded good up until they own your ass for 4 years.
Exactly.
Any creative juices that come out of you for 4 years, it's like it's almost,
own
they came up with it. Well, they're really
Yeah.
just, going out for their 5-star dinners and restaurants and vacations, and you're sitting there, artists tend to, I don't want to say dark, but they have a certain sense of humor. They have a certain way of being, and these people who make money off of that, they're off doing their thing. Well, the person's living this, and it's them. It's their baby they're putting out there, and they want to not just have 80% of this. Now, if you got 80 G's up front, that might be worth the 80% of this. But
No.
when they
No,
want 4
absolutely
years.
not.
Well, maybe just that. I don't know how well off you are with money. For me, that'd be worth it. Eventually you got to come to some kind of compromise, because I don't have a publishing press in my backyard. But at the same time, for them to say 4 years,
$80,000 and then own them for 4 years.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Like-
I'm saying before the
Yeah,
4
yeah.
years part. Just the
Yeah.
$80,000 and 80% of right then. But the 4 years part is where I would say no. I don't care
Oh, no.
how tough things are.
Because it's not
Yeah,
even
that's the number. That's the problem to me.
I also have like my little deisms in them, which that's what my husband named them. My deisms, because my real name is.
Hey,
D.
husbands do know best.
Well, everybody calls me D. So I have okay, here's one for instance. Every life is different by God's intentions. I cannot give advice, only my opinion.
Huh. I like that.
It's little quirks like that.
No, but and you know what? That's what sells these days. Because everybody wants something clever to put on a meme. Everyone wants something that's so many characters or less for Twitter, for Facebook. You know, those are the type of things that have the most interest. Not a whole book you have to read and kind of find something where you can, take a highlighter and say, I like that little, what you said there. Let me take a highlighter to that one line. Says maybe what, like one person in 10,000. They're looking for those, like, the shorter the better, yet kind of to the point, and that's where it's at, in my opinion.
Yeah. Here's another. This is a silly one that I have in my book. It's silly. It's just one of those things I wrote. It's smother a baby with love, smother a potato with butter, smother a stain with shout, smother a fire with salt, don't smother love with guilt.
I like that a lot.
And these are just my little deeds. I'm not even giving you anything from the book. I'm giving you my
That's what I'm saying. This isn't exactly like your book is an actual book. Like a book is it? It's not so much a It's not so much. I'm sorry. I'm just making sure I got all my battery. It's not so much a. This is from your book. This isn't so much from like these short little one or two or three liners. These are things that you're just working on. That's so much with the. What's the book about? Is what I'm getting at. What's the book? Is it a lot of these kind of like 2-3 liners or
no. It's everything. I mean, it's. Hold on. Let me find you something.
I'm trying to help you promote it. Because I think a lot of people like what you're saying.
Like I said, it's so much of it's everything. It's, okay, here, I'll give you one of my poetry that's in it.
Okay.
Just for instance.
Okay.
It's called Masquerade. The mask we sometimes wear, it is to hide those fears we know are there. You show the laughter and hide the tears, forsaking others you hold so near. By all means, the mask that is there never shows any sorrow or despair. You often wonder what people would say if you took off the mask and threw it away. Would they understand as they take you by the hand and tell you to begin all over again? Or would they laugh in your face at your own disgrace as you remember a dreadful time and place?
That's great. I think that's great. I love that. You're a very good writer, Whitetail.
It's deep. Think about it.
So what if somebody is looking for your book, is there a title that's been kind of decided upon? I know right now you're still looking for a publisher, but let's say in the future they come across it, you'd be surprised. People will remember a title from years ago. What would be the title to this book?
It's Soul Survivor. That's my title.
Could you say that one more time?
Soul Survivor. That's
Soul
it.
Survivor, but I mean with the S-U-L or S-O-L-E?
S-O-U-L.
Soul Survivor.
S-U-R-V-I.
By the way, great name for a book.
Yep.
I love those kind of double meaning,
Well, and here's the other thing that this guy told me when I went to, show him everything. It's because I have certain things cued in my book, and he told me you have to change it because it can't be like that. This one, for instance, it's called Blue Note, and it's spelled B-L-U-E, or B-L-E-U, sorry, N-O-T-E. But the blue is in blue, and the rest of it is in, how I did it. But I'll just read.
Good.
You think about it as I read.
Okay.
Think back when that 69 roared past, that guy was driving. His name was Doug. His Camaro was...
Back up here. Let's see if we're back up. We should be. Make sure. Alright, yeah, we're back up. Alright, so you guys can hear me? Alright, I'm gonna call Whitetail back and let her finish up. Sorry about that. Like I said, trial and error at this point. Alright, let's see. Pennsylvania, and then North Carolina, you're up next after Pennsylvania, which is Whitetail. Hi, Whitetail. You're back live if you want to continue on there.
I can, absolutely. I was hearing everybody was saying it was all buffering, so...
Well, yeah, that's why I was like, you know what? Hold that thought. Let me get it fixed up, which I did. So, go ahead.
Okay. Alright. Let me get back on track. I'm in the kitchen here.
And by the way, while she's finding her spot at her place, North Carolina with the 910, you're next.
Okay.
Alright, Whitetail, on you.
Good deal.
Yep.
Nice to know.
Yeah.
Hold on.
It's alright, take your time. I understand.
Before now, I don't want to hold everybody up and...
It's alright. Shoot from the heart, or if there's certain things in your book. Anything for your book. Whether you're looking for a publisher, and you know, let's pretend. Look at it like you wanna, because I know that there's a couple of publishers that do listen. Almost give like a pitch to them, and not just them, but you know, they would probably like to see an audience responding well. So you're gonna pitch to the audience about the book. I think that'd be best for your purposes.
Well, like I said, I mean, it's a multitude of things. It's not... That's what I kept saying to the guy when I talked to him. I was like, this is a multitude of things. It's not just writing. It's artwork. It's painting. It's photography. It's everything. Yeah. I mean, this has been my life. That in 10 years that I just wrote and did everything that I was doing, and one day I threw it all out on the living room floor, literally, everything.
Wow.
And started piecing it together, and that's how the book came together. God told me how to put the pieces together, and where they would go in the book, and that's how they were supposed to be, and that's what I did. That's exactly what I did. And for somebody else to tell me to change this, change that, or, you know, we're going to give you a contract, or we're going to give you $80,000 in a 4-year deal and 80% off of every book, and no.
But then they own you. The whole thing that got me was then anything creative you do for 4 years, they have the rights to. 100%.
No.
And that's what
Absolutely not.
drugged me about
Because
it.
that meant musically anything. Like, because I was already talking
That's what I'm saying.
to...
You know, if you don't plan on doing much the next 4 years, then maybe it's a good deal. But you know, if you plan on continuing to be an artist, I mean, for the next 4 years, you don't want to be in that position.
No, because I still do everything, and they're not going to. No, I was not going to do that. I'm not going to give that up.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Okay, so I'll give you this one again. Well, not again, but this is for me. It's again.
Huh.
It's called His Kingdom.
Okay.
Death is a doorway, an opening for the soul. Our grief is slow passing, and eventually we all know that it will also be our time to go. We must remember, though, that our loved ones are up there watching over, protecting us just so. Somewhere in our short time here, we shall meet our end and carry over to the new world. So say goodbye and give a kiss. Do not ponder for a second over something you may have missed. We will have the chance once more to say the things we had not before. When God makes that choice to open up our door and takes us to His kingdom, we will be forevermore.
I knew you were going to end it that way. Wow, that was amazing. In my head, I was like, forevermore. Or no more. And I was like, wow, that is amazing. That was very nice. Wow, you're a great writer, Whitetail. I commend you. I can't wait to hear. Will you give me the latest update on the screen? You can probably see some of my emails. Probably the Yahoo email. If you can give me the latest update through that, I'd appreciate that. Keep me updated. And in the meanwhile, and in the meantime, I'll keep you updated on. They might not be live now, but someone's going to watch the show afterwards. And they might be I know of at least 2 publishers that watch the show. And, you know, if somebody's interested, I can always let you know as well. And I know where to find you.
Absolutely.
So, alright, sound good? Alright, well, thank you so much for calling in to the Red Pill Dispensary. This is the Red Pill. You know where to get your Pez. And, when it comes time to... we have this budding author that, I mean, in my opinion, it's beautiful what you write, and I'm sure that it's going to be recognized by somebody who appreciates you more than to say 4 years we have the rights to anything you do. So let's see what happens, and I wish you the best.
I thank you. I thank you so very much. You don't really understand. I mean, that's a blessing. It really is a blessing. And just to get my name out there and get somebody to see and recognize.
Of course. I mean, if it wasn't so great, I wouldn't endorse it as much. But you are a great writer. I write myself, and you're a great writer. I mean,
You're only seeing my writings. You're not seeing all the rest of it. You're not seeing my letters. You're not seeing my drawings. You're not seeing...
Exactly. If you want to send me some of that stuff, I'd actually be interested.
I don't know how to do it.
Just, I don't know if you have it at all linked online. Just,
No, I don't have anything. I have everything compartmented.
Well, if you do figure that out, send me some of it. I wouldn't mind reading some of it.
Well, no, I'm talking about like the photos and my drawings.
All that, yeah, all that.
Yeah. So yeah, but I thank you again. It's a blessing.
Of course. Of course.
You're just a godsend, and I thank you.
Thank you, Whitetail. I appreciate that.
So much.
That means a lot to me. All right. Well, you have a great rest of your night, and God bless.
Thank you. You the same. I love you.
All right. Thank you. Love you too.
Night.
All right. Night. All right. So next up, will be Whitetail.
I appreciate that.
So much.
That means.
All right. So Whitetail.
Well, you have a great rest of your.
I mean, no. Did I say Whitetail? I meant to say North Carolina. I was still thinking about some of the stuff she said. So North Carolina. You know, I'm not gonna have a speakerphone because. Hello? You just called me. Oh wow! Did you get everything in the mail? You clown. How'd you enjoy that? Did you have to get a new phone? Is that why a different number? Yeah. That's what happens when you talk about veterans should die, talk about people's mothers who are dead, and all that. That's why none of your shit works. I know you hate me, motherfucker. Just remember, Red Pill did it, bitch. I know exactly who you are. You called me, bitch. So, just know that. Sorry, guys. That was a troll from Memorial Day. He called in, and he decided to call in again. He even left a message. He's saying that, he's pretending that, I think he's kind of dumb because he left a voicemail. So let's listen to his voicemail. Since you called me, I mean, I can legally play this, so. Look, this is happening during Whitetail's thing. Hold on, let's see. I know that you guys might not want to hear this type of stuff. Listen. You hear that? He's real angry. Hold on. Let me see if I can get it on speaker or something. This guy's pretending, I don't know you. Who's this? You know who this is. It's the guy who fucked up all your devices like I promised on Memorial Day for saying veterans should die. He knows. He's just all salty. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Speaker. So this guy, he just said he has no idea who I am, right? Well, here we go. Here we are. 3:02 a.m., which was literally like 3 minutes ago. He just sent this, and that's why I called back. Ready?
Yo, nigga, I don't know who the fuck this is or why the fuck you keep calling my fucking number, buddy, but I'm gonna trace this fucking shit back to you.
He's so mad, because the thing is, he was talking about veterans should die.
Fucking call me, nigga. I don't know who the fuck you are.
So I messed up his phone, I messed up his iPad.
Shut the fuck up.
Had a bunch of stuff sent to his house. I mean, you can tell he's classy. He's a real nice man, as you can tell. Alright, so the phone lines are open. It was just some hater that, you know, you talk like that, there's going to be repercussions. Especially when you talk like that to somebody that used to be working in Intel field. And I promised everyone, I said, watch. I said 2 weeks at the time. It ended up taking more like a month. Or less than a month, 3.5 weeks. But he still got it. And he got the message. That's why he's so angry. So that's why he sees me live on a call-in. He thought he'd call in. He's probably going to say all that live, but I was on the other line. I'm not going to. Alright, so the phone lines are open. Let me check this. Hey, what you sad? What do you mean? Who's this? You left me. You called me and left a voice. Of course, I'm from Boston. All right, and you sound like you're from the food stamp office. All right. Do you remember you called in? What do you mean? Do you forget? Do you forget when you called in talking about veterans should die and all that? Guess what? I got you. And that's why you're salty. I got you. All right. Alright? Just like I promised. Shut the fuck up. You're the same voice. Listen. Okay, alright, good. Hold on. Let me put you on the speaker. Alright, keep talking.
You're a fucking idiot.
Stuck my...
Alright, you called me. Did I call you? Besides right now, calling you back, did I call you? No. You called me because you're mad because all your shit's fucked up. Because you fucked with the wrong one. Just like I told you on Memorial Day. So I'm going to take that voice and match it with the voice from Memorial Day, and you guys will see what I'm talking about. I'll do that in the next video. Anyways, phone lines are open. You know, I mean, basically, I don't censor anybody, but, you want to call in and talk like that? I let him talk. I didn't hang up on him. I let him talk. We got into it on the phone, and, he ended up looking stupid. For any of you guys who were there that night, Memorial Day, if you guys remember that, the guy calling in talking about veterans should die. That's him. I didn't call him. He happened to call me while she was on the phone and left a voicemail. And now he's like, who's this? Like, you don't know who it is. I'm the one who messed up your iPhone. It wasn't even an iPhone. It was an Android and some tablet he had. All messed up. Sent a bunch of stuff to his address. So I'm not going to dox him online like that's what he wants me to do. because his lawyer probably told him, well, hey, you can't ask for it unless he doxes you. There's nothing you can do. And I ain't dumb enough to do that. Alright, so actually I think Scott was probably there. Scott was there, and I remember Scott telling me, calm down, man, take a deep breath. Yeah, that was that kid. He's all upset because everything I told him I was going to do ended up happening. But, alright, so do we have any other callers? Because he's just going to keep calling, and honestly, I don't want that side to come out of me again like it did last time. And he's already gotten his payback. And I'll take that voice you guys heard, and oh, so my Fugal, is that like my Fugal? Well, it's my Fugal News. He's not actually like live. He just decided to drop a. He's doing the Walmart surprise, which is very interesting. So in Ferguson, and you know, I'll give him credit. It was on his show, so I'll say it on my Fugal. They were talking in Ferguson how like a 6-man team. Seemed to be military, landed a Black Hawk on the roof of the Walmart in Missouri. Now, when I heard it, I'm thinking, okay, well, this has something to do with what happened in Memphis, Tennessee, which isn't too far away. But turns out there ended up being so much more that happened. Then Face It Fearless, who used to be Shauna, she actually was covering a huge fire that seemed to be man-made, and that was also in Missouri. So, you know, I kind of wonder what the connection is, because I know that there definitely is one. A Black Hawk doesn't land on a Walmart, let out 6 men, and then who knows where else. But, you know, it got reported on my Fugal that these 6 men were landed on a roof. And I thought it had something to do with the Memphis thing, if you heard about that, where, you know, somebody pulled a gun on cops, and wow, I'm so surprised he got killed. I mean, that's what happens when you pull a gun on cops. I mean, these guys have a hard enough job. Now, if you didn't pull a gun, if it was, you know, some of the other situations, yeah, I can see where people are untrusting of cops in those situations. But a situation like this, it seems like at this point, you could pull out a gun and aim it at a cop, and if they shoot him, somehow they got the ACLU and the Southern Paul Law Center. They're all down there. They're all trying to make money off it, trying to make a movement. This one, there's nothing there. The guy pulled the gun, and someone would say, "Oh, so you know, so they say." He pulled the gun. Come on, let's be real. Alright, on the other ones, when there weren't guns pulled and there were wrongful deaths, now that's a different story. And those men went to jail, and they were from the same part of the country, Missouri, Tennessee, you know, places like that. Missouri is really a hotbed for that stuff. Let's see. So the call lines are open. First call, show back. I'd like to see. I'm curious because my Fugal decided to. He's not live tonight, but he decided to put out a video. So we'll see. Let's see. Why are you streaming? Well, I think I know who that is. Oh, you just got back from the wilderness, Brian Knight? Whereabouts did you go? Isn't it refreshing to get out there? See, up here in New England, it's tough to get away from the city, but thank God for Maine. That's all I can say. Hey, listen, North Carolina, you've already been handled. I told you on Memorial Day you're gonna pay. Now you're all angry. Stop calling my phone number. Stop. By the way, this ain't my phone number. This is the show's phone number. Stop calling the show's phone number. Because last time I got into a nasty. I put you in your place. You were basically holding my pocket, you know, calling me daddy by the time we were done talking. You know, we had a beautiful call already from Whitetail. I'm not going to go down that route and show that side of myself from when I was younger. Because honestly, bro, like, if you want, off air, I will call you and rip your face off. With words, physically, whatever you want. So, waiting on callers. If there's no callers, then there's some stuff that we can always look at on the internet. There's always an option as well. So for now, I'll start doing that until there is a caller that isn't salty because he said veterans should die. You know? You talk about veterans should die on Memorial Day. That's why all your shit's fucked up. So, stop calling. Take it for what it is. Next time you'll learn. Oh, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. Alright, tomorrow, I already got your voice on here. I'll put that voice next to that voice, and you tell me. It's pretty clear it's you. Clown. So let's see. You know, I'm just gonna block your number. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna block your number. Why do I have to block? Why do I have to bother blocking your number? You're a clown. Because I actually want you available. Because, you know, when I'm not in such a good mood, I'd love to call you and really put you in your place, kid. I mean, I thought it was enough. I already messed up all your devices, but you want to keep coming back for more. So that's fine. Alright, so do we have any more callers? Not yet. Not right now. So let's see. Let's see what else we got here. There was something that I wanted to pull up. Something pretty interesting, actually. I'm not seeing, I know I spelled it, but still, it would still come up. I'm not seeing that one story that I was hoping to put out there. So, if you watch my video on Iran, I tell you what I think about that. Let me see. Kellyanne Conway, by the way, she's violated the Hatch Act, supposedly, which basically says that you cannot talk politics. Exempt from that would be the president and the vice president. Well, if that's the case, then what has been going on the past 16 to 20 years? Have not every campaign person, every cabinet member, every secretary of whatever gotten into politics and you know, kind of, you know, didn't all of a sudden she's the only one that's going to be held to those standards? It just blows my mind. Let's see. Oh, there's something real interesting. Where is it? So again, phone number 774-303-5555. Please call in. If we're not going to have call-ins, then that's fine. It's just my first night up. This is mostly just me kind of having a chance to make sure that it does work. Wow, the Lakers are the odds-on favorite. Wow. Alright, well, tonight was just for a call-in show. So, if there's nobody who wants to call in, if there's no other call-ins, and it looks like my Fugle went live at an opportune time, so, you know, I probably lost a lot of viewers to that. It's just one troll. It should only be one troll in there. Probably we have. Yo, what is this? Like, this guy. I'm just gonna remove this guy. This guy, he's you know, he basically, he's the guy. If you guys remember from Memorial Day, he was talking about veterans. He was talking about veterans should die. He was talking all that kind of stuff. That's in the chat. It would be, we have Willie's public info. Well, that's him. Well, you know, he's salty, so he's all upset. Renee Drew worked for Seth 5 to 6 years ago. Shane had put his together. So no call-ins, 77. I'll put it in here again, cause I'm not reporting news tonight. I just want to do a call-in show and make sure that the new setup I have works. So yeah, I saw that. And I knew what it was from. It was from that very interesting stuff from Ferguson, Missouri, how the Black Hawk landed on that roof. But I'm not getting call-ins. Maybe it's been so long since I did a call-in that, yeah, as far as like we have Willie's or whatever, that's the guy. A few of you were there. At least one or two of you were there when he was talking about veterans should die. He was on Memorial Day. He was talking about things like that, and talking about my dead mother, all that kind of stuff, and I went off on him. If you guys want to see that video with the one with the American flag on it, he's the first call, so you can't miss it. Just go back if you want to hit and put that voice to this one, and it's him. And he's upset now because when I promised that, you know, your devices might not work so well, I mean it. So now he's all upset. It's fine. So there's the phone number. Yeah, Marth isn't live, so, you know, I'd like to get you guys live here. If not, there's other things I can go over. For instance, let's see, so for those of you in the Houston area, well, that would have just passed. So I guess you guys getting high winds, lightning. This isn't a very up to date. Let me get a better. For those of you in the Houston area. Oh wait, that's not coming up there. Okay, let me change this. Oh, here we go. Alright. Let's see what we got late night. Anything breaking that's worth talking about? I'm doing this just because nobody's calling in, so you know I'm not gonna have dead air. Let's see. So please feel free to call in. Oh, Brooks Kopka. I had money on him. He came in second. That's what I do for work. Speaking of North Carolina, like that loser, home intruder who got hit in the head with the machete and escaped from the hospital has been caught. What are you calling us from your hospital bed, you loser? And guys, trust me, I'm not being hard on this, guys. Go back to the Memorial Day show and listen to the first call. You'll understand. Okay, so prisoners, national security teams, discuss something. So this is what I was interested in. So I want to know what you guys think about this. All right, so Trump's national security team. You know, maybe also jog some minds and have some callers. So is expected to discuss sending more U.S. military I hate these. Alright. Is expected to discuss in detail. Let's see. In detail this week whether to send additional U.S. military force to the Middle East in the wake of the last week's attack on the 2 oil tankers. Now, you should have a card come up during the show, but if not, if you just want to look back at my videos, I think it's the feature video right now. I kind of talk about that whole situation with the Iran or with the oil tankers and who's at fault. Is it an FF? If not, why is it not an FF? And what's different with this story than other stories? But when you listen to it, all I suggest is try to read between the lines. You can't always say straight out what you're saying. Usually, I'm pretty open. I just kind of say straight out what I feel. In certain situations, with national security, you have to read between the lines. Anyways. This week, whether to send additional U.S. military force to the Middle East in the wake of... you're killing me. In the wake of last week's attack on 2 oil tankers, according to 2 U.S. officials with direct knowledge of the discussions. It is not yet clear how soon Trump will be briefed and when a decision will be made, the officials added. Acting Defense Secretary Patrick Shanahan hinted at the discussions Friday. When you look at the situation, a Norwegian ship, a Japanese ship, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, which I had mentioned more on that show, because they're obvious players in that. The UAE, which I mentioned, 15% of the rest I mentioned. I wish I mentioned more about Saudi Arabia. 15% of the world's oil flows through the Strait of Hormuz. And what have I said on old shows? What have I said on my Fugle? When the Strait of Hormuz is closed, that's when you know it's on. So we obviously need to make contingency plans should the situation deteriorate, but we also need to broaden our support for this international situation, he said. According to the officials, the discussions are centering on the mission of deterrence, and defense against Iranian aggression and what specific forces would be needed to conduct that mission. Last month, U.S. Central Command sent initial forces to the region. If an additional deployment is ordered, it will essentially fill the request initially made by General Frank McKenzie, the Central Command commander, in May. The initial request was for thousands of troops based on the capabilities needed, several U.S. officials said at the time. The New York Times reported that top national security officials met Friday at the White House to discuss the tanker attacks and a proposal the Pentagon is considering to send more military forces to the Persian Gulf region. And that's the end of that story. Alright, so, I mean, yeah, so, let's see. That Kellyanne Conway, the whole thing, that's a mess. These maps will blow your mind. Let's see what we got here. I like visuals. Meanwhile, I'll put in the, I'm gonna put my phone number in the description again. Yeah, with that Wills or whatever, that wasn't his screen name before. That's just a, you know, he made that screen name. You heard him. He's pretending to be somebody else. Because he's upset. Because all his devices got messed up. If you guys remember from that day. And I do pray for him as well. But, you know, certain things you say. You know what? Yeah, Mom's not live. He just has just reading through comments, by the way. So yeah, if nobody's gonna call in, I mean, that was the point of this one. I basically just wanted to have a call-in show and test out this. I just want to test out and make sure that despite having a computer with a smashed screen, which was donated from the school, I thought I'd never get on with this, but I was able to find a TV that had a DVI cord, and the DVI linked to the computer, which basically puts what I would see in the laptop screen on a big TV, and I just do the rest from, you know, my laptop, and it just pops up instead of on the screen on the laptop. It pops up on the TV. Pretty simple, but it took me a while to get the cord. It took me a while to figure it out. So, if there's not going to be any callers, I'm just going to sign off, guys. Alright, we do have a call. Alright, and I think I know who it is. Alrighty. Hi, this is the Red Pill, the Red Pill Dispensary. How you doing?
Hello, I'm just fine. Who do you think this is?
I know who it is. Of course, it's West Virginia Prepared Mind. How you doing?
I'm fine, honey. How are you? Where in the world have you been?
Well, if you had seen weeks ago, my third BIOS chips in 2 months at that time was fried. So I've been trying to find a way. You know, you'll see me go live, but it'll be just from my phone. And you know, there's limited resources when you do it that way. But I actually now have found a way to go live on a old computer with a busted screen. And,
cool.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
That you're monetized now.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, well, I've had the ability to monetize for like a month and a half. I try to save the super chats. Yesterday was a test run, but I'm the type that, you know, I'm not all about all the money and all that. So I try to save the super chats for topics. Let's say if I do a lot of research. And, you know, I feel like, you know, I put a lot of work into this video, a lot of research into this video. Those are the type of videos where I will have super chats. For instance, a video like this is super chat. The super chat shouldn't be turned on. If it is, just ignore it. I don't think it is, though.
I just hadn't noticed before you had commercials.
Oh, yeah. I just try to have one at the beginning and one at the end, so.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I heard the ability for a while, but, you know,
I bit the bullet and started my channel last Tuesday.
What was that?
I bit the big bullet and started my channel.
Did you? Oh, wow. Well,
Yeah.
great. This could be one of the, I'm sure you mentioned in other places, but this could be one of the first forums. So what is the name of your channel, West Virginia? And guys,
Okay.
well, actually, go ahead. No.
Same thing as my screen name.
So, same thing as your screen name.
Everybody in chat knows.
West Virginia Prepared Mind. Guys, I'm telling you, this woman, she is so intelligent. She has such a vast array of knowledge, and not only that, but she raised a great man. I know her son, and through the internet, and he's a great man.
Watch those videos. You say this is a super intelligent woman. Now listen, I'll tech her. You go back and watch my videos. Brian Knight's in chat. He will tell you this has been the biggest cluster, this week.
Well, that's how it always starts out at the beginning. That's how it always starts out. Don't let that deter you. You got a lot of people that back you up.
Off the river.
Yeah. Well, you can go through my videos and hear every time you called in and get your mind blown. So, as long as you have the knowledge, the rest will come. It took me a while to learn as well.
I finally figured out how to make a thumbnail, but I can't figure out how to attach it. So, Bubba News is going to Skype me and walk me through it. I always thought I was
It's pretty
good at
simple.
computers, but
Yeah, if it doesn't work out that way, give me a call. I can walk you through it. If you want to give me a call anytime, off air, I can walk you through exactly how to do a thumbnail. That's very easy, a thumbnail part.
It's been a flipping nightmare. I've never felt dumb in my life until I started this.
Yeah.
And this is a whole different world.
Oh, wait until you start getting like 1,000 subscribers, and there's a bunch of people that like to hate on you, and the negativity. You think it won't bother you, but it's never a good feeling when you wake up in the morning, you open it up, you hit notification, it's just a bunch of the worst nastiness you can imagine. Just the first you wake up to it,
I'm not worried about the trolls. I've got a cowboy bodyguard that's going to take care of me with trolls. So.
Nice. See, I'm one I kind of let the trolls do that thing. Yeah.
The trolls don't bother me.
Yeah.
They're gonna do what they're gonna do. I've watched them. Let's see, I mod for you, and I mod for Alaska Prepper, and I mod for Homegrown USA. So I'm used to the trolls. I watch how they are.
So tell us a little bit of your channel.
I'm too into being nice, so he stayed around and was actually nice the rest of the time.
Yeah, you've actually talked me into kind of taking the high road a few times now.
Yeah.
And you were right every time you said it. You were right. Tell us a little bit about what separates your channel from, let's say, the next Truther channel, because outside of your grasp and your you have a very unique perspective on things that is based in fact, and you're a very well-read woman. So outside of that, what would separate your channel from others? Just to try to use this as a platform to sell yourself. Sell your channel.
It's a platform to sell myself.
To sell your channel. Or that.
Let me go paint my front door red real quick. Wait on that. Oh my God.
Oh, that came all wrong. And then sell the channel.
Listen, I've had a bad weekend, and I felt really bad. I went back and watched the 2 videos I uploaded, and I thought, boy, you can see I look like hell and I sound like hell. But I promised those videos, and I was going to get them out if it killed me. So, what separates me? I am leaving the news to all of you guys. I'm leaving the sun and all that mess to Brian Knight and his bunch that are so well versed in that.
Yep.
Drop does an excellent job with the gardening and the solar, stuff.
So many different things. Drop is amazing in so many different ways. Yeah.
Yes, he's very, very knowledgeable.
Last night I thought Drop was live, and then I realized that we weren't live anymore. We still ended up talking for like an hour and a half. I mean, I love Drop. He's great. He's great.
Well, I was trying to I was at my camp and I have no cell service. Finally, I had to drive to McDonald's on Saturday night to get cell service to try to upload something, and I sat there for 2 hours tonight, and I got a message YouTube had crashed. Well, I knew that was because I was watching YouTube on my phone while I was waiting for videos to upload on my iPad.
Yeah.
And I got aggravated, and I just drove back to the camp, packed it up, and got home about 1 of, I don't know.
I'm sorry to hear it affected the time out.
Driven home and
yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
I had gotten a lot of requests to do prepping topics such as canning, cast iron cooking, out on the fire pit cooking.
Sometimes the audience, I would take that as a cue. I mean, I've got a lot of, I try to use what the audience gives me as well. I mean, you always want to have, kind of control your own show, but, maybe set aside a day for some of these things you're naming that the audience likes. I try to do that as well.
So, I think we're all family. I'm subscribed to, everybody that has now. Wait till 7. I've got to find your channel. I had looked before and it doesn't pop up. I will subscribe to your channel. She's in chat. I wanted her to know that. I'll find it.
Yeah, I'm gonna subscribe to her. I didn't even know until now she had a channel.
I had looked one night that we were in Marf's live and I couldn't get it to pop up. But my thing is I don't want to compete with what all of you all are my buddies. I don't want to try to compete with anything that you all are doing. I want to compliment, and I want to do things that I have knowledge in that you all don't cover. And
that's a good thing. That's going to get you the most views. But to be honest with you, I used to think of it like that too. I used to think of it like, because at the time, like, me and my fool were like really, really tight, and I was just like, well, if I talk about this, I'm kind of stepping on toes. Trust me, there's enough views to go around. Even if somebody's already covered a certain topic, people still like to hear another view. Don't ever feel like that. Once I learned that, it's okay for multiple channels to cover the same thing, and you might have different views, you might have the same view. And you're going to reach different audiences, you have a different way of kind of interpreting things. I would never shy away based on what the rest of the people in the niche, especially your immediate niche, never shy away in that way. It's always good to have a multitude of views out there.
Well, it'd be kind of difficult for me to do news when I don't watch TV anymore and I get all of my news from all of you all.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. Well, it's pretty easy though, you go in the Internet Explorer and, look at the breaking news in the mainstream media and see where the cracks are, kind of expose them. I like to do that.
Yeah, I'm not interested in the news, I'll just get it from you guys and you all do that. I was going to do all of this stuff on Motor Legal Reports, and Shauna has taken Face It Fearless in a little bit of a different direction.
Yes.
So there's still not going to be, and there's so many people that requested different things, and I no longer have that platform. I still watch Shauna. She's awesome. She's just, taking it in her own way now, which is awesome.
Yeah, I think she's doing great. I mean, she's doing these great interviews with people in high places, and
exactly.
I mean, I think that was missing. Somebody actually doing that groundwork, that legwork, and she's kind of fulfilled that.
Well, there are a million canning YouTube videos. I've watched tons, hours and hours of them, and I just cringe when I watch some of them because they're not giving all of the appropriate information.
And I know you have extensive knowledge.
And I would hate to see anybody ruin their food. I've only had so far one jar fail, and that's because I overfilled it. And I knew when I put that jar in that canner, I had overfilled that. It was kielbasa that I was canning. And I knew that, I was pushing it just a little bit. I'd cut the pieces a little bit too big, but I thought, oh, okay, it'll be all right. Well, no, it didn't it didn't seal. But, they either leave out a step or, there's just something. And I was listening to Alaska Prepper, and he had gotten an email from somebody that they had cleared out their freezer, or gone and had bought $200 or $300 worth of meat, and none of it sealed. And they, apparently didn't know about cleaning the jars, the tops with vinegar, and the steps that you go through to make sure your jars seal. So I'm just going to do this myself. And I was raised camping on the river. We started out, everything cooked on fire, and I cooked with cast iron. And we may need that skill someday if we have a grid down situation, and people aren't going to know how to do that. So those are the kind of things I'm going to do.
And if you let me, I'd like to say to everyone out there, I'm telling you, I've had West Virginia be part of this show and then become a moderator for a while now. And I'll tell you, two things that really stuck out to me was her not just knowledge, but expert knowledge of canning, of gardening, of these type of certain things that we would need to know in a prepper situation. She has such great ideas. There's more I'm not thinking of, but those two stick out in the front of my mind.
Well, and there have been reports through the years, you can look them up, where people like in Alaska or remote areas have thought they could live off of beans and rice, and they found them dead from malnutrition. You have to have a well-rounded diet.
Yes.
And, if the grid goes down for any reason and they hit our major power plants, it's not going to be a 6-month deal. Green Greg's Garden and Earthworm Farm, he works for NASA, and he is an activist with the state and several state and federal governments pushing to try to reinforce our electrical grid. And he plainly said, if we do without electricity and they say it's an EMP and the electricity's back on in 6 months, I promise you they flip the switch. He said because we have 3 major power plants, one on the East Coast, West Coast, and then of course Texas has their own. And he said that the integral working parts of those power plants are handmade overseas, and it takes 16 months to order one of these power plants. They had to make special rail cars to transport them across the United States. They're so big. And he said, we're looking at a minimum of 2 years no food. That notice that came out in December for 6 months, that was a hoax. But, you're going to get bored. We're spoiled. Americans are spoiled.
And people don't think of, because we're spoiled, and even if we weren't as spoiled as we are, comfort items are very important.
Exactly.
Actually, Shauna, before I was Red Pill, before I was Matt in Boston calling into I met Shauna online, and I was concerned hearing some of the things I was hearing, and I said, both on my end and, on different stations on YouTube. And I said, I have a 2-year-old, I'm a single dad, do you have any ideas? She put out a whole spreadsheet with like all this different stuff of things that would be great for a 2-year-old, 3, 4, like up to 6 years old for a girl that I would have never thought of, and it just speaks to her character. Anytime she comes up, I always talk about that because Shauna is of high character. I mean, she's obviously military. She was an officer, captain, Air Force, as my father was. She has high character. I just wanted to put that out there. Just something jogged that in my head to say that. But yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay. Yeah, I'm going to do pressure canning and seal meal canning and some dry canning. I'll show how I do my 5-gallon buckets and how I rotate my buckets. You know, I have working buckets and then, you know, long-term storage buckets, and I rotate those out because I store self-rising flour. Well, that doesn't last long, so you have to definitely, you know, store your self-rising flour. We love bread. You know, I'll do one on, like, I'm going to can sausage this week. One I'm just going to cold pack, and it'll come out in jars in crumbles, and that can be used in scrambled eggs. It can be used making burritos. I'm going to show how to make tortilla shells, homemade. You know, it's real simple. I'm going to do one bagel making. I'm
curious about that. How do you make the tortilla shells? I don't mean to...
I do flour. I don't do the
flour. Okay.
So the soft.
I was just curious. Yeah, I'm a big, you know, buy the you know, chili or beans and things like that, and you know, I was just curious.
Well, I'm going to do a video on making flour, you know, tortillas, so you can make, you know, soft shell tacos, or you can make breakfast burritos. Yeah. But if you don't have,
making me hungry.
You don't spice up your preps, and we do ever get in a situation, you know, those kind of things, you know, I have dry canned Rice Krispie treats and marshmallows, and anybody that's watched my videos knows that I'm dreading doing the butter, but I love butter, and of course you have to have butter for Rice Krispie treats. I've got a 2.5-year-old grandson. I don't want him not to know what Rice Krispie treats are until, you know, he's older.
Yes.
So I canned butter so we can make Rice Krispie treats. And I haven't used it yet, but I bought a cast iron. I have cast iron every size skillet in the world. I didn't have a Dutch oven, so I still have it in the box, and I'm going to use it, and I'm going to make bread with coals from a fire, and show everybody, you know, how to make bread. That's just, you know, those are treats. You know, you can have your meats and your beans and your rice, and, you know, you need, you know, spice packets. You get, you know, those little, you know, pouches of spices, and turn your rice into, you know, you can put gravy, you know, packets on it, or you can make it Mexican rice, or, you know, and then tips of, you know, watch the sales. You know, if they put any particular thing on sale, that's when you go buy it, whether you need it or not. Right now, like, I have got boxes of mashed potatoes and scalloped potatoes and stuffing mixes and more rice sides. Well, those things have
Machine learning is often targeted
expiration dates, you know, they're longer,
requiring special expertise.
well, they're still in the boxes, you know, on a shelf. I don't have to worry about sealing any of that stuff until sometime next year. If I'm not canning something or doing something else, you know, I can pull out a few boxes and either put it in a mason jar or seal it up. You really can't do your cereals and pastas with a seal meal, because, you know, if you do it right, it is brick hard and it cracks your cereal. I've watched videos of people seal milling their frosted flakes, and as it seals, you can hear those frosted flakes, man, they're cracking down to, you know, they're going to open up powder one of these days if they open that stuff up. So that kind of, you know, those kinds of tips, you know, I've watched hours and hours and hours.
I have your channel up, by the way. So
thank you.
Yep. So,
I'm not watching it with my iPad.
I'm just saying, this is for the audience. This is,
thank you.
Listening clear
I appreciate
mind.
that so much. But, you know, I didn't know, and I've told this story before, I didn't know that there was anything on YouTube besides music and games until last year.
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. You learn. I'm still learning. There's so much to learn.
My granddaughter or one of my kids would tell me, "Oh, you got to see the, you know, comedians, cats, and music."
Oh yeah.
What YouTube was. And then I saw something pop up on that, and I thought, "Holy cow, there's a whole lot." So I started watching
this
everything.
whole community, yeah.
And then I started realizing, you know, you're telling people wrong. Why are you telling people these things wrong? And it really started to bother me. And then when Shauna spun off in a different direction, I wasn't going to be able, you know, to.
Well, that leaves a vacuum. the prepper community is in need of somebody, and I know your knowledge and this stuff, and I think that you can fill that void.
Well, that's what I hope to do if I can
Great.
figure this out. It's funny, you know, I told everybody I'm not going to edit videos. I'm leaving the bloopers in there. We can just laugh. You know, my
that's fine.
Everything's
that's fine.
an opportunity to
Yep,
learn, and they're
exactly.
going to learn and laugh with me.
Yep.
And you know, I'll take any suggestions. Anybody disagrees, that's great. You know, they can
That's
teach me
fine.
something new, but
Yep.
I also have the philosophy we can agree to disagree. So it's going to be a lighthearted, you know, let me teach you the best I can and try to fix some of the mistakes you may have seen. You know, but there are plenty of videos, you know, and I do, you know, give credit. Obsessive Prepper AZ. She's the bomb. Now, you can watch, she does different things than I will be doing.
And Red Pill Dispensary, he's pretty good too.
No, I'm talking about canning.
I know, I'm just kidding.
With canning and food storage and stuff, she is one that you can trust. The Alaska Prepper.
Will you say that again? What is her name again? On YouTube?
Obsessive Prepper AZ.
Obsessive Prepper AZ as in Arizona. Okay.
Yes. She's from Phoenix.
So yeah.
And she had been prepping for years and lost her job. Her husband lost her job. I don't know. She commented on my post that I put that in a video this week. And they lived off of their preps for a year, and she said they would have been sunk had she not been a prepper. But she learned through that year that she didn't want to have to live long term on what she had prepped. So it completely opened her eyes, you know, in what kind of things her family felt, you know, were comfort foods. And
I have her pulled up now.
I thought
Yeah.
finally, you know, someone that thinks like I do, she's really good. You can watch her, she, you know, she
I
is
subscribed. I got her up here.
There's so many of the other ones that, you know, if they are really prepping the way they say they're prepping, they're in for a rude awakening. They are not mentally prepared at all for what.
Yeah, she seems to have a grasp on storing and, you know, mails in a jar, things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, I trust her. You know, for the food preparation and the.
Well, that's great to have an alternative.
Right now,
but I'd be watching your videos before anyone else's, because you called into the show enough. Anybody who's watched this show knows your extensive knowledge in this area. So I'm looking forward to your videos. Is there?
I get a kick out of them. They're kind of rough, but.
That's fine. That's expected at the beginning. That's expected, and you believe it or not, people appreciate that at the beginning, because then they know it's raw. You know, when somebody comes off a little bit too polished, sometimes it comes off not so authentic. Whereas yours will come off authentic, and then they'll watch you grow. People love to kind of be a part of something. Start small, watch it grow. You know, but the ideas and the actual information is solid.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and you know my background, and your listeners know my background. And, and most everybody, you know, knows I'm finishing up my doctorate in psychology. I will never mention that on my channel.
That's some advice I would give you. Be careful about giving your real information out. Be careful, because you don't want people to contact. It's sickos, trust me. People have tried contacting where I work, and of course the people, when they contact them, they're like, what do you mean? That's one of the reasons we like him. He has an open mind. That's why he has such unique views on sports and contracts and ideas, and you know, for the show, and you know, but I'm just warning you. You know, you give out a little bit. All it takes is 2 or 3 good bits of information that are factual, and you know, they can kind of, you know, you want to be careful.
That's what I'm worried about.
Just give me a little advice, you know.
My biggest concern is I want everybody to understand that the reason I have the knowledge that I have is from life experience. It has absolutely nothing to do with what I have done in a career path or my adult life. this came from grandparents, from growing up to my parents.
Yeah.
You know, things that I experienced, I know that works. I know, you know, when you can bacon, you've got to pre-fry it to like 80 to 90%, roll it in parchment paper, then can it, get it back out, pull it off the parchment paper, fry it, you know, and it crisps up. If you don't do that, if you just throw your bacon in a jar, when you pull it back out, it will absolutely just dissolve and you're just going to have bacon grease.
Yeah.
So those are the kind of
See,
things that I'm
that's the type
with
of
people.
that is your genius right there. Just things like that. Yeah. I think that your channel is going to be very, very, very successful. I mean, your name, West Virginia, that works for a name for a channel. Have you been considering with sticking with that name?
Yeah, I'm not going to change it because I want everybody to be prepared, not only with preps but mentally.
Yeah, it's usually what we choose for our, you know, channel, our, you know, screen name when we, you know, type in won't usually match what we are going to have as a, let's say if we decide to start a channel. Unless it's authentic, then it will match, and in your case it does.
Well, thank you.
You know?
So, well, I didn't call in about my channel. I just called in because nobody was calling in, and I really
Yeah,
didn't
that's
want to
fine.
talk about
Yeah,
it.
this is kind of like a trial hour, just to make sure everything, it seems like everything's running well, and I'm happy you called, and your channel's up right now. Guys, trust me, when it comes to prepping, when it comes to storing food, when it comes to different techniques like you just heard about the bacon, I mean, that's amazing. She is full of this type of information, including gardening, including so many other different parts of prepping that people kind of overlook. You know, there's the bug out bag and all that, but that means nothing if you can't find a cheap, affordable yet sensible way to prepare, like the type of things that you're explaining just a second ago, like with the bacon.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're going to bug in. You know, there's not a whole lot.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Do you bug in or bug out? I was talking to someone. Yeah, I had a conversation with somebody today. I told them that I'm bugging out, but that's only because it works for me. Where I live, I don't think it'd be a great idea to bug in. If I lived out in the country, that's a different deal. I'd rather bug out. Whereas others, it might be a better idea to bug in. That would probably be the first question I would say people should ask themselves before they even get started. Do I want to bug in or do I want to bug out? Depending on where you live.
City, you would have to bug out.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I would be bugging out.
Street and we have a basement. And
yeah, you could actually bug in. Yeah.
And there's
which has immense benefits to bugging in.
Because the marksman, you know, we've already planned out how we would block off the street. And,
defense,
and
yeah.
Defend our perimeter. And,
exactly.
You know, of course, that aspect of it, I'm lucky because I have my USMC vet son. You know?
Exactly, yeah. I didn't want to say it. I was about to say it again. And yeah, your son would be pretty good for that. Yep. So yeah, I think that bugging in would be the best option for you. Whereas me, it's the opposite. And each and every person watching this later or right now in chat have their own preference. They need to figure out what's better for them, to bug in or to bug out. Which way do you prepare?
I'm going to get him, I'm going to do the bug in or bug out and do bug in stuff because there's not a lot of bug in.
A lot of bug out, you're right. There's not as much bug in stuff, which is actually, I would think, unless you live in a heavily populated area like in the city like me, usually bugging in is probably the better of the two. Even in any location, I think bugging in is the better of the two. Just because supplies, bug out, every supply you have is on your back. I mean,
don't get me wrong, we have bug out bags in case we need to get from one point to the other.
Yeah, depending on the situation, you never know. It might not be safe.
We've got a ton of duffel bags that, we're not going to...
It's a good point. I would prepare for both. Yeah.
And, I'll do a video and show my blackout bag. It has a headlamp, and I've got one 72-hour candle in it, and matches and lighters, and hand warmers and, those kinds of things.
Yes.
That's my whiteout.
Yeah.
If I need white, and it's got Vaseline and cotton balls, and have your fire starter.
Depending on the dynamics of your family, mine might be different than yours. I have a little girl. It depends on the dynamic. There's so many factors. You need to personalize it, which is why I think your channel is going to be great.
And Derek, he's got a 2.5-year-old son. He's got supplies for his child, in a separate bag that he can hook on his, bigger bag, and preparations for him if we need to get from, point A to point B, wherever we're, bugging in. I don't want to say, exactly where, but
I wouldn't.
and you never know, something could hit, and we would be out and need to have to get to, where we're bugging in. So
well, as long as you have you want to have also, that brings me to my next point. You want to have multiple options, whether it be a bug in, a bug out, a second bug in, a second bug out, different avenues, things like that. If you're bugging out, different ways around bugging in.
I was so worried about the EMP, but after listening,
well, just get an EMP shield.
And those guys, I'm more interested or more concerned now with the CME than I am the EMP.
Well, yeah, after listening to Brian, he brought that. I was always aware of a CME. I just didn't realize it would be actually more devastating. Until after watching Brian Knight.
Awesome.
Yeah, Brian Knight, which is another channel I recommend. You guys want to learn about the sun, some of the activity going on in the sun, CMEs, things like that. Brian Knight is the place to go. Anything else in closing?
No, I do want to say, I try to give, depending upon what my topic is when I'm rambling on, I try to throw out there and give some channel a shout out. I have not given everyone a shout out because their specific channel wasn't on topic, of what
Yeah. Don't ever feel like, oh no, I didn't mention this guy, and I hope he didn't take offense. Don't think like that. Whatever fits the topic.
I will get everybody, mentioned, but, it just depends on, and I got tickled because my family said, oh, you get Mom talking, she'll have to shut up, we'll be here a while, and I've noticed where I don't have thumbnails, there's every picture that it's me after I showed my face, my mouth is open at some level, and I just got so tickled tonight when I noticed that. I thought,
well, it's up right now as you speak. I'd love to help you with thumbnails. If you're not getting help, or if you're not figuring it out with whoever you said you were working with, feel free to call me. I'll walk you through it. It's very simple.
I'll have to do thumbnails. I can't have
you have to do thumbnails.
On there with my mouth open.
Yeah, you want to do thumbnails. And not just for that reason, it's better, people are 100 times more prone to click on a video with a good thumbnail than they are just a picture of somebody, That's just the nature of it. And you're going to get the information out to more people that way by having just a simple thumbnail, even if it's something that you just save off the internet or create the thumbnail yourself, or I could walk you through that.
The first person I reached out to help me with thumbnails gave me 40 lines of text of clickbait. And I thought, listen, I don't want to do clickbait. I'm doing what I'm doing, and that's
you're just looking for thumbnails. Yeah, if you want, feel free to contact me tomorrow I would say after 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and I can walk you through thumbnails and how to do them. It's really easy. It'd be a pretty quick phone call, trust me. It's pretty easy. You'll see how easy it is, and then you'll never forget.
Yeah, and I need to figure out how to do an email on my drop down, and
I can show you.
People that I want to be able to give my phone number to and actually be able to talk to them, about different things. And I don't have any way of getting my phone number out except saying, oh, well, call Dex, he'll give it to you. Or
that's what the description box. Like when you create a video, it shows description.
Right.
I would have something that's already pre-written out with the ways to contact you, whether it be email, phone, as well as any other information you want to put in there. Save it as a document, and anytime you want, you just go in, copy, and then paste it right into your description. We can go over all that anytime after 6:30. I get out at 6:15, so anytime after 6:30, preferably 7 or later p.m. Eastern Time. Call me. I'll walk you through the thumbnails and all that. 10 o'clock I might already be live.
That's probably saying, can't y'all do this on the phone sometime?
Yeah, I know. At 10 o'clock I'll probably be live.
Oh, okay.
But that's why I say between 7 and 10 is a good time just to call one-on-one.
I can do that on any other night but tomorrow night. We have the baby tomorrow.
That's fine. That's fine. It's basically the same for every day. In the work week. Yeah, 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern
It's
Time.
going to be lighthearted, and I'm just going to do my thing. And
Yeah, and I'll walk through at least the thumbnails and the description and get you at least started with that. You'll see your views double.
Yeah. Well, all of my buddies and fans are in chat. I love them all. They've been so good to me, and they're so good to leave such encouraging little comments. So I'm just real happy with. And it won't be a week till Tuesday night, so I'm not doing too bad.
No, you're doing actually very well. It's just some of the basic stuff that I needed help at the beginning. Anybody who told you they didn't need help either has already done this in some form or fashion before, or they're lying.
Drop told me something to download, and I forgot about that email, and he mentioned it in a comment Saturday night, so I need to pull that up and load that. I think that'll help too. So,
how are you streaming? What are you using to stream?
Huh?
What are you using to stream? Like, how are you, doing
I'm
the video?
just doing a video either on my iPad or my iPad now. It was my phone. That was a nightmare. So now I'm doing it from my iPad because I couldn't get the orientation turned right on my phone. But I figured it out real quickly on my iPad. So the two that I did get right that I uploaded tonight is on my iPad.
And you'll be at 1,000 subscribers before you know it. Trust me. With the quality of your content,
well, it hasn't been a week. And
you'll get up to there, and you won't be able to monetize or anything right away, but you will be able to use your phone and just go live at any point, which is great. Yeah. So, alright, thank you so much for calling in. It's always a pleasure. Always nice to hear from you.
See you back on.
You know, of course, yeah. I just, like I said, if with the computer going down. I've been on the last couple of nights. I don't know if you have confirmation, but basically it's just from my phone. I don't have my Streamlabs. Now I got my Streamlabs running.
I've been service since Friday.
Yeah.
When I go to my camp, I haven't turned my Wi-Fi or anything on because I'm not down there that often. And I went for the whole weekend this weekend, and I had no cell service. So if I did anything, I had to drive a mile to McDonald's and use their Wi-Fi. So
yeah, hey, do what you gotta do. So,
all right,
thank you so much.
Thank you, Matt.
All right,
everybody, love you all.
All right, take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, so guys, I highly recommend checking out West Virginia Prepared Mind. Not just because she's a friend and has been a friend of this channel for a long time, or because she's a mod. It's because there's a reason that she's a mod. She has amazing information. Amazing. And you guys will see. I bet you even just check out some of her stuff. It's amazing. If you're into prepping especially, it's amazing the information that this kind woman knows. She's great. I've always thought so highly of her. Okay, so the phone lines are open. Looking for another call in. If anybody would like to call in, I'll put the channel's phone number in there again. So there's the channel's phone number. There again. Alright, well, otherwise, I wanted to ask you guys. Yes, I wanted to ask some of you guys also. So, what have you guys thought about some of the recent news? I have a question. For Trump to say, basically with this whole thing, the Democrats, they call him making a manufactured crisis. Well, I mean, you want to talk about a manufactured crisis. It almost looks like he almost kind of had his own little manufactured situation where he basically talked about how if he was to receive information from the enemy, that he would use it. Now that might just be him being honest, because I think that's the truth. I think that if he did receive information, just like any other politician, he would use it to a point. And if it ended up being something kind of, unlawful and things like that, then he would report it. I just can't seem to think that he just had a slip. I think that there's a bigger plan to this. He's kind of throwing it in their face, like, well, this is what you did, and this and that. And, he does throw in the pot, unless, it seemed like it was kind of going in the wrong direction. It was kind of like, not something good for this country and not real information. Then I would alert the FBI. I feel like it's some kind of bait. He has been in hot water for so long, or at least that's the way the media makes it appear. He has been in hot water for so long. Why would he all of a sudden decide, okay, hey, you know what? I'm just going to come out and basically just say I would collude if I could. It just doesn't make sense. There's something behind this. Maybe there's some type of disclosure coming behind it that's going to make the people speaking out against him now look hypocritical and look very stupid. That's at least what I'd like to believe. That's what makes the most sense to me. I'm curious if anyone has any other takes on that, or kind of agrees with me and wants to elaborate. Basically anything. Call in about anything. It's actually 4:14 a.m. here on the East Coast, so if I don't get a call in, I'll end the stream now. I basically wanted to use this as kind of like just a test to make sure that despite working with what I'm working with, I'm able to be back up, under Streamlabs, and don't just be on my phone and, have the tools at my disposal that I need. So I'll just give it a couple minutes, see if anyone wants to call in. In the meantime, I'll check out chat. Yeah, I subbed to Whitetail as well. So Gus, the audio is not great. I'll work on that. Like I said, this is a test run. I'll work on the audio. So if there's nobody else, I'm just gonna cut it here. I just want to thank you guys all for joining me tonight. Tomorrow I'll be doing a story during the day, and then at night we'll be doing a call-in show. This was just kind of a, check the waters, make sure everything's working the way it should. The only complaints I'm really getting is the audio kind of sounds like it's not direct. So we'll work on that, or I'll work on that. And unless somebody's going to call in, I mean, it is pretty late here on the East Coast. I just want to say thank you for joining me. This is the Red Pill with the Red Pill News Dispensary. By the way, I might be based on some good advice, I believe. I was going to change maybe the name of the channel to a Red Pill Dispenser. But I'm thinking maybe just instead of the, just make it again A, but instead of dispenser, just a red pill dispensary. I'm thinking of doing that. If you don't think that's a good idea, please put it in the comments. I'd like to see that. Not so much live chat, like in the comments. If you do think it's a good idea, if you like a red pill dispensary or a red pill dispenser, things like that, let me know what you think. I'm just curious what some of you guys think. You know, whether you are somebody who listens all the time or this is your first or second time listening. I value all your opinions, and you know, how do you know what's best unless you ask the audience that's consuming the product? So unless there's going to be another caller, I'm going to sign off, and like I said, tomorrow I'll be having a video during the day, something I've been working on. It's going to be a very interesting video. On top of that video, we'll have a call-in show tomorrow night. Also, there's also kind of like this social thing I've been working on where, as one person described to me, the basement babies. It's like this gap in generation, kind of like from baby boom, not to leave out Gen X, but I'm thinking more so for my purposes, from like baby boomers to millennials, right? Now technically I'm a millennial. Now I'm the last year that you can be a millennial, or the last 2 years before you're something else. I'm like the very beginning of the millennials, so the oldest of the millennials. But you know, I don't consider myself a millennial in the sense that people think of millennials. You know, it probably has to do with my military service at 17 and things like that. But you know, if you guys want, also I mentioned this on, you know, the last live stream I did. If you guys have any ideas or have any interest in a show like that, where it's why is this generation of millennials, why are they staying home? Even the ones who financially have the ability to move on, they find themselves coming home. That wasn't the case for you baby boomers. You guys moved out young and stayed out. And why is there's this change? Now there's the obvious reasons, like, you know, the Obama administration and, you know, some of their policies that have led to it being easier to kind of go about life in that way. And there might be other factors. It's just a topic that is very interesting to me. So I also, not tomorrow, but the next day, the day after that, I'm going to have some type of show where I'd like to hear from the parents of who have children that fall into that category. I'd like to hear from the children who fall from that category. I call them children, but I mean, you know, under 35 that fall into that category where you move back in with mom after college, or never really left, or always find yourself coming back home, whereas the baby boomers will have a totally different experience. So that's like something kind of like a psychosocial situation that I find appealing, and I'd like to report more on it. But in the meantime, between time, I have a totally different type of show prepared for tomorrow that's more based on current events. And then, of course, a call-in show tomorrow night. And then, once I get enough feedback on this psychosocial situation of, you know, the basement babies, as they're called, then I'd like to also do that. I would like to have one night where we kind of talk to the parents and, you know, kind of how things were in their day and how it differs from their children, as well as the children talking as to why they believe that it's different for their generation. And then the third day, or maybe like 2 days after, I'd like to have a professional one talking about it, and kind of wrap it all up that way. So leave in the comments any ideas you have, any stories you have, if you think that's a good idea for a story, not a good idea for a story, anything above. So unless someone's going to call in, I'm going to